Senator Cortez Masto from Nevada is recognized.
Thank you. Chairman Gensler, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you for being here. Let me talk a little bit about crypto regulation. Under your tenure, the SEC has pursued enforcement actions against crypto asset insurers. However, few cases have been brought against the exchanges. And crypto assets are, as we know, traded primarily through the exchanges. The SEC has proposed that intermediaries should be regulated under the Exchange Act. So could you address this? Why should crypto asset intermediaries and exchanges be regulated under the Exchange Act? And if you would, how would investors and market participants benefit from regulating crypto assets under the Exchange Act?
So I thank you. It's actually fairly straightforward because of these 10,000 crypto tokens, without prejudging any one of them, I believe that the vast majority are securities because there's somebody in the public is betting on a better future, betting on anticipating profits on a common enterprise, a group of entrepreneurs in the middle. And then given that, these intermediaries that often have 50 or 500 tokens or 150 tokens, they're going to have a bunch of securities on that platform. How does it benefit the public? It's the time-tested protections that these crypto exchanges, we protect against front running and manipulation, and there's transparency. As you go into the New York Stock Exchange or into NASDAQ or the like, this committee's worked on laws long ago. I complimented Chair Fletcher, who was here in 1934 and did it, but long ago for that very reason, the public benefits. Right now, frankly, there's a fair amount of non-compliance. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to continue to try to work with the intermediaries, get them inside and regulated. If need be, use our toolkit, our regulatory toolkit to adjust and facilitate, because there are some differences, as Senator Toomey and I talked about earlier.
Would you be able to, through the enforcement, also identify potential money laundering activity?
It's more the remit of the Department of Treasury. However, one of the key things under, as I understand the money laundering laws, the SEC has a role that our registrants, the exchanges, the broker-dealers, have certain compliance obligations over with Financial Crimes Enforcement Network at Treasury once they register, or whether they should register. And I believe it's even if they don't register, but they're legally required to, they have to comply with that.
Thank you. Excuse me, let me jump back to, because I do think Senator Kennedy, and I appreciate his willingness to explore, to understand the issue of ESG and the requirement. My understanding, and thank you for your position and how you perceive that regulation, but because now we have a whole new generation of investors that are really conscious about green and going green, there are new investors now that are looking for ways to invest to be consistent with their values in this role, correct?
There are also investors that are just thinking because of climate risk, it could affect the financial performance of a company, it could affect their supply chain, it could affect their competition, it could affect future regulation. So they're thinking about how to value today that future transition risk.
Thank you. And then there was also conversation, and I appreciate this as well, about the issue of greenwashing. And I know some major global asset managers and climate advocates have stated that the ESG integration label could pose greenwashing risk. Can you talk a little bit about that and address that?
So there are asset managers managing trillions of dollars that are saying to the public, we will invest your money, your money in something that's carbon neutral or green and the like. And so to me, it's about truth in advertising. And so we put out some proposals earlier this year to address what stands behind a name, literally the name of a fund, and are you living up to the obligations that you made or commitments you made to your investors when you asked for their money. And I think that's really important about the integrity, and it would address some of this, what's sometimes called greenwashing.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.